So hello there, good people of the world. Welcome to another video and stream. Tonight we're going to continue the Pacific Edge tour. I apologize to the people who wanted to fly along yesterday, especially a guy named, what was his name? I'm sorry, I don't remember. He was asking several times on the forums and so forth, but I just wasn't able to make it yesterday. I was advised by my family to not, because for some reason, I don't know why, but Tuesdays always seem to be a logistical challenge for us these days. So we're going to switch to Wednesday for now when it comes to the Pacific, to the tour days each week. So tonight we will start at the airport of Ensenada, which is in Mexico. Last leg that we flew, we ended up in Mexico. We crossed the border into Mexico. The departure was at Miramar Naval Air Station, or MCAS. I'm not sure what. At least you know the Miramar from the Top Gun films. That's the one where we landed, or where we. No, that isn't true. Is it true? No, we didn't land. We were at. We landed at Catalina, and then we flew over Miramar, buzzed the tower, and then we landed at Ensenada. So tonight we're going to start from Ensenada, which is a Mike Echo Sierra. And let's take a look. What the weather conditions look good, VFR, as according to the flight simulator weather information. You never know. The flight simulator is wrong sometimes. So there are some nice parking spots. Let's pick one of them. Set departure. And I won't put in a destination. We're going to do that on the fly once we're in the air. We can use live weather and live time tonight. So let's just go ahead and spawn into the air. No, onto the ground. So 10 minutes to 9 p.m. We can wait a little bit longer for people to join in if they want to. Oopsie. And we desperately need some music. Unfortunately, as usual, I cannot play the music that I really want to for you guys, but that's just how it is. What are we going to play today? The boring groove stuff. Yeah, let's get ready to fly. Our nice little Kodiak. You know what? Today we're going to take along a whole load of passengers just because I feel like it. We're going to put in some... where's my flight performance stuff? Mass and balance. Let's just fill up the seats as best as we can. Okay, we're gonna clear out the pods. These guys don't want... No, These guys, the guys don't want to take along that much luggage. Essentially, they don't want to take along any kind of luggage because I say so. But we can leave it at 50% fuel, but we'll fill in the seats. And you know what? I found out that if I actually kill this, I don't have a co-pilot. Isn't that great? So we've got all these people back here. Look at that. And essentially, this is going to get heavy, but that's all right. Let's reduce this. Let's reduce the volume of the music a little bit. Otherwise, I'm not even able to hear myself yelling at these people back there. No, we don't need a generator yet. Let's go ahead and turn this on. And low idle, no fuel. Yada, yada, yada. Fuel pump on. We are at 21 NG. Let's go ahead and put it into low idle. And hope for the best. Oh, there's someone standing right behind me. Okay, we can turn this off. Generator on. Yep. Here we go. Taxi lights. I'm just gonna leave these lights off for now. Temperature is 17 degrees Celsius. That is good enough. We don't need any pitot heat. Turn off the attitude standby stuff. What else? Let's just make sure that we have the proper temperature inside the cabin. Turn it down to like 21 degrees. That looks good. Then we can go ahead and set the autopilot. We don't need a lot of altitude today. Let's put it to like 3,000 and see what's going on. 1,200 feet. Yaw damper on. We're gonna fly heading, initially at least. We can turn it, ooh man. We can turn it to the south already, like this direction. And that's essentially it. Turn off TAWS. Let's take a look at the checklist. I'm not going to bother with ATC tonight because I have decided that I'm going to cancel the subscription for Say Intentions. It's been fun for a while, but I think at some point I'm still just going to switch to VATSIM, even if there's only Unicom frequencies. I know that's a little bit boring, but the AI ADC stuff is just too expensive for my taste to make sense to me currently. ATIS. Yeah, we can listen in to ATIS. That's a good idea. I don't know where ATIS is located, on which frequency. Let's take a look at the airport frequencies. It doesn't even have ATIS. That's unfortunate. Well, we're not going to need it. I just decided we're not going to need it. Pitot heat, altimeter I just did. Everything else is good. So, let's see if the stuff's still working here. Oh, I need to make a quick check on the controls because I changed a little bit. I changed some things in the hardware. Oh, seems to be working all right. We can put the center a little bit. There we go. No. Extremity dead zone. That's not even what I'm looking for. Yeah, well, we're gonna make sure this works by trimming this stuff as we need it. Oh, look at that. Okay, save and go back. That's good enough for us. What's the time? Almost 9 p.m. Let's take a look outside if there's anybody who would like to play along. I can't see anyone yet, but we'll leave on time, so today people really had a long time to make up their minds if they want to join in, because I was able to announce it very early during the day. I'm just going to turn on the landing lights already. And yeah, we can leave it on low idle for now until we have reached the runway. We have got 7 knots of wind coming from the west, which means that we're going to take runway 29 for takeoff and then turn towards the south. That sounds like a plan. And I'm announcing taxi, blah, blah, blah. November Delta Foxtrot Delta is taxiing runway 29er, and you guys just get out of my way. I'm going to put it into high idle. Okay, so there's runway 29. Let's just make a quick stop here and lower the flaps. We're in high idle. We're going to set prop full forward. We did the ADC stuff. We're pretending to do it. We're going to have turned on the landing lights. Everything else looks good. We have done the barometer. Yep. And off we go. This is a very long runway, so I don't even need to spool up the torques, which we just can go ahead and take off in a civilized manner. Oh man, what is happening? Oh, I forgot the trim. I forgot the trim. That's one of the things. You never rush.
Stop, 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 stop.
You never rush. What is happening? Something very weird is happening right now. Something very weird is happening right now. I don't know what it is, but it's weird.
Stop.
Okay. I'm not sure what it is today, but I didn't turn on. The autopilot was turned on. I didn't turn it on. Weird shit, really. Weird shit. I don't know. There's always something happening in my flights. I don't know. It seems to me it's my incompetence, maybe. For fuck's sake. Okay, so we did take off. Let's just go fly heading and gain some altitude to like is there a what is happening? Today it's really seems to be difficult today for me to actually get this show on the road. 2,000 feet. Let's go to 3,000 and let's fly heading. For crying out loud. How about the autopilot now? Here we go. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to change is in the settings. The music is not cool. What I wanted to do is go to the controls and change the way. No, I need the instruments. Go back, instruments and systems, here we go. And no, flight instruments. Flight instruments, so. And we needed on the throttle. Increase heading back, that's what I was talking about. And then increase altitude pressure, no. Increase There should be a way to actually put the altitude bug on some buttons, right? Or maybe not. What is it with you? Altitude. Oh, there we go. This might be it. So... Okay, and the heading. I'm gonna switch the heading to some other knobs. Where is the heading? There we go. Let's just remove that and remove that. And let's go ahead and put it. How do we use this? Like that. Decrease heading and increase heading. That's good. Save and go back and off we go. Because that is going to make it easier for me to change the altitude. That's a lot better. Yep, it is. Hi, medic. The first airport in the plan, that is where somewhere in the middle. I put on the forums as well as on Discord. I said that the takeoff airport for today is Ensenada in Mexico. The plan is just the overall idea of this whole tour, but we're somewhere in the middle already. No problem, no problem. I can actually turn around and wait for you. The airport that we started at is Ensenada, which is Mike Echo Sierra. Mike Echo Sierra. I'm gonna put it into the chat so you can select the airport. I'm gonna turn around, pick you up. I'll have to make sure that my passengers get sick today. These guys look too happy back there. We're gonna have to change this. So, are you a medic? Do you do? Are you a flight surgeon? We could use somebody. These guys look. They don't look too happy. I'm gonna make him suffer. My takeoff was not. It didn't go very well because my trim was completely off, and I somehow activated the autopilot and didn't know that I did. Which was rather weird. I cannot see. Are you still trying to fly along? Because I can't see anybody. I can't see a label yet. A field paramedic. Okay. So, well, that's not too far from being a flight surgeon, right? You just. You're just gonna have to take a look at the people and slap them in the face if they start to complain, and then hopefully they'll stop. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should make it. Maybe I should not put up the flight plan for everybody to download. Maybe I should. The problem is how to communicate where the flight actually starts. It's always been a problem, unfortunately. But I'm not sure how to make it better. How to make better announcements. But I'm happy that you decided to join, really. It's always fun to fly with other people. Okay. I'm slowly going to turn around. I think we're going to stay below 3,000 because the weather doesn't look so nice today. And I would like to see something from the surroundings. That's the idea of this whole tour, that we can see different kinds of landscapes along the way. So let's go to maybe 2,000 feet and hit the autopilot and change the heading to southerly direction. Nice beaches these guys got down here. (2,000 RPM) and like 1,200 something torques. That should be good enough. It'll be easy for you to catch up, I guess. That's probably a tourist magnet down here. This little island looks a little bit like on the east coast of the where you have these islands in front of the actual shore in Florida, I think, and further up to the north. Where are you from, Mr. Medic, or Mrs. Medic, or Miss Medic? I don't know. If I may ask, you don't have to answer. WV, which I guess that's US, and which state is it? Wyoming? West Virginia, I'm sorry. Okay. So you're like 6 or 7 hours, no, maybe 7 or 8 hours behind. It's early afternoon, something like that, or 3 p.m., 2 p.m., something like that. Okay. Nice. Got your whole day ahead of you. Well, let's say half of the day. Why is this thing trying to climb? What the hell? What's wrong with the autopilot? Did you happen to read the website? Probably the idea behind this tour? I mean, it's nothing special, but so you get an idea what we do here. At least you saw the flight plan, so excellent. Flying is always good. It's a nice, relaxing pastime. I like to do it as often as I can. Yeah, so the idea is just, the entire plan. You can see the plan, so it's just flying from Alaska to the Falklands, the entire Pacific coast of both Americas. And since I've only been doing flying in North America mostly, I never flew over Mexico or Southern America, so I thought, why not? It's a nice idea, I think. And you're going to see all the different landscapes that you can basically see on the planet, because you're starting at about the Arctic Circle in the north, and you're going to go down south to the Falklands, and it's basically the southern Arctic Circle almost, I guess. Yep, it looks pretty desert-like already. Does that belong to the Baja California? Maybe, probably. Pikachu del Diablo. There is a road here, which I was told might be the Panamericana, a highway that spans both of the American continents, probably. Yep, it does. No, it doesn't. Impossible. That's the wrong one. But because we're going to end up, this is some kind of peninsula we're flying over. So at some point we're going to join the mainland and then see somewhere else. Blah blah. We've got two. Oh, there you are. West Virginia Medic. I can see your label. That's one of the things that I really enjoy most in this version of the Flight Simulator 2020 and 24 is because you've got this decent depiction of the real world, simulation of the real world. It makes sense to explore the world. That's really pretty cool. We couldn't do that before without a lot of effort when it comes to satellite imagery and stuff like that, but it is very nice to be able to do something like this. What about you guys back there? He's got a beard, just like mine. He's got one as well. I wonder if these guys are the developers of the Kodiak, because the faces, I mean, they look so, they've been scanned, I guess. That might well be the crew of SWS. Can't see yet what kind of plane you're flying. The 206, okay. That's a nice one as well. What's the max, the V max for this one? Indicated? There's a lot of turbulence here today. And that's probably the headquarter of some sect. Yellow bar is 160. Okay, well, then they're going to be able to catch up. But it's, if I remember, we're talking about what's it called? The stationaire? That's not a turboprop, but that was a piston, right? With some kind of really nice sounding 6-cylinder engine. We've got 10 knots of tailwind right now. No wonder this thing is hopping around like crazy. Yep. That's a very nice plane. I like it. That's the outside temperature, just 13 degrees. That's not a whole lot, considering that we're so far down south. And we're not even very high. There's one good reason actually to turn on the intentions, just for the heck of having a tour guide. Yeah. Go on. Do an update. Do you know say intentions? I just canceled the subscription, but it still runs until somewhere in May, so I'm just still going to use it. It's pretty fun, but it's, in my opinion, it's become too expensive for me right now. I just don't want to shell out $20 per month just for a little ATC tool. It's pretty cool though, in some aspects. So let's turn on a tour guide, because these tour guides actually are going to be able to tell us something about the surroundings, or the environment, some sightseeing spots and stuff like that. Okay, that's a whole lot. Hey Murph, what's going on around here? Can you tell me something about the surroundings here?
Me dear friend, at our 12 o'clock, just a wee bit to the east, you'll find the stunning coastline of Baja California. It's a sight to behold, with its dramatic cliffs and azure waters. This area is known for its rich marine life, and is a favourite spot for whale watching during the migration season. The rugged beauty of the coast is a testament to the power of nature, and it's a place where adventurers and nature lovers alike find solace. Keep your eyes peeled for the playful dolphins that often grace these waters.
So there you have it, Baja California. And what are these groups that you're flying with? Is there anything special going on? Do these groups specialize in anything, like bush flying or airliners, something like that? Eastern Hubs, that a BA virtual airline? 25 or 30 people, that's a whole lot. Yeah, I guess. Or is that Wingnuts? Is that the name of another group? UK, okay. I see. Are you closing in? Maybe a little bit. A trip to Rio, yeah. That sounds nice. What was the origin and the destination? Obviously was Rio, but where did you start? Seattle, okay. Well, that's actually pretty similar trip, with the exception that you Rio de Janeiro, is that on the eastern or on the western side of Brazil? I could look it up myself. I'm a stupid man. I've got a chart down here. East Coast, okay, so you're gonna have to cross the continent a little bit, but initially the trip was pretty similar, probably. Okay. Oh, and you turned around. Okay. Well, that's even longer, probably, than flying to the Falklands. And how long did it take you to do this trip? Over a year, yeah. Yeah, I guess, I mean, you can't fly every day, so. Yeah, I see. Okay, so you had a break in between. Well, then, if you, then that's actually, that's to be expected. If you have some, I don't know, depending on how long the legs were that you do, like 1 or 2 hours each time you fly. 3 to 4 hours, okay. Well, still. Yep. How small are we talking? Piper Cubs? The 206, okay. That would be an epic trip. try to do this entire trip with a Piper Cub, that will take a bit longer than that. Lost Boys, okay. That's very commendable. I did, maybe you know the book Flight of Passage? Okay. So basically, it's a coming of age story, I would say, of two teenage boys who did restore a Piper Cub in the late. It was in 1965, I guess, in the winter of 1965, and then they flew from East Coast to West Coast in their Piper Cub, and the boys were like 17 and 15 years old, I think. And basically what they did was fly alone, no parent, no adults. They were just flying on their own. They didn't have any kind of navigational aids like GPS and stuff like that either. They didn't even have a radio back then. You could do something like that. And so it took them like 6-7 days. And there's a book which describes their adventure. Hi there, Rutha. Thanks, I'm good. How about you? So there's a book that describes this adventure, and the adventure is the descriptions are good enough that you can actually that you can create a flight plan out of the descriptions, and I did just that. And then I took a Piper Cub in the simulator and tried to fly the route that the boys flew in 1966. So it wasn't really that easy because, first of all, some of the airports do not exist anymore that did exist back then, and sometimes the descriptions were a little bit vague, but it was still good fun. And I can highly recommend the book, actually. If you're into aviation of all sorts, then it's just a fun read, really. With a little bit of drama and coming of age and weird characters along the way. Hank the Stairman pilot and all that. It's pretty cool. I would say then you're not all too young. '67, okay. You're ahead of me a little bit. Like 20 years, exactly. Yeah, and so that was fun because I didn't use GPS either. I tried to use the descriptions, the landmarks and so forth, the rivers, the highways that you have. Most of these still exist, and it was quite a challenge in some areas because, I mean, somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Texas, you don't have a whole lot of landmarks, but it was still possible. It was possible. one of the nicest places to fly, actually. Also, if you like a challenge, I mean, you're older than me, so you probably know more about aviation than I do, but one of the nicest places that I find really challenging and that's quite enjoyable is Iceland. I've been there once in my life on a honeymoon with my wife, and I fell in love, so not only with my wife but also with Iceland, and that was fun. And since then I think that I've enjoyed flying in the simulator. And you've got lots of there's one of the nice things about Iceland, the bush challenge. Is there a challenge in Flight Simulator for this? Is that along the ring road? Okay, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. But was it in 2020 still, or in 2024, the bush challenge? Okay, yeah, I might have missed that. Yeah, it's basically probably going all the way around, and that's the ring road. The famous ring road in Iceland. There's basically, you can drive your car all along this road, and you're gonna go all around Iceland. And that's what I did with my wife. We rented a car and drove along this ring road. That was really, really beautiful. And one of the interesting things about Iceland, I think, is the fact that you have very, very quickly changing weather conditions, and you've got lots of wind, and there are many months when the sun almost isn't able to come beyond above the horizon because it's so far north, and then you have twilight most of the day, and that's pretty cool as well. And of course, some of the strips that you have there, landing strips, are quite challenging as well. Hey Murph, is there anything special around here?
At our 1 o'clock, just a wee bit off the coast, you'll find the enchanting Isla San Martin. This tiny volcanic island is a gem of the Pacific, known for its unique ecosystem and the adventurous surfers who brave its waves. It's a protected area, so it's like a wee slice of untouched paradise. Legend has it pirates once used it as a hideout, and who knows, maybe there's still some buried treasure waiting to be found.
Are you flying VR, by the way? Or are you still a 2D guy like me? Yeah, two screens side by side, and you stretch the window across both screens, or one screen for like a maps software or something like that. Okay, yeah, same here. Well, I have three screens, but I have one screen that the simulator runs in, and then that's good enough. Exactly. One big screen, and the other is just to have other stuff. I tried VR once, but I got sick. I don't. It's. I really have no problem at all flying airplanes. Also in reality, I don't. There, you can have. We can have the most ridiculous turbulences, and it's not going to affect me. But if I'm putting on a VR headset, I will get sick. It's actually sad because the immersion is really cool to be able to see everything in 3 dimensions, but dear Lord, if my body doesn't feel what I can see with my eyes, then there's some kind of discrepancy, and it's not going to work. I was almost throwing up, and then that just doesn't work, unfortunately. But I know that there are quite a lot of people who do enjoy flying in VR, and I kind of envy them. But on the other hand, it makes things quite a little bit more complicated if you want to do streaming stuff, and if you want to have your map windows or browsers and stuff like that, I would guess. No, I didn't really decide where to land yet. It's pretty early still for me. Oh, I could fly like another hour maybe. I don't know. You can basically leave at any time. I won't be mad. There are a couple of airfields coming up where I could land later on. 117 miles. Maybe will fly to Punta Prieta airstrip, Mike Sierra, and then I'm gonna call it a day. But this little leg is still possible for me. And that's actually a good idea. I can put this into GPS just to get my bearings right. Generally, Mike Sierra. Punta Prieta. There we go. Procedures. Let's see what kind of procedures they have here in the Garmin system. There's 2 runways, 34 and 16. We've got a whole lot of tailwind right now. And there's going to be a whole lot of crosswind, possibly. Let's take 34. Let's see about when we get there. but you're going to have at least a tailwind component with 16, as far as I can see. But I don't really have local weather at Punta Prieta. I guess we'll see when we get there. Or do you have weather information about this place? Okay. Yeah, so did I. Little nav mode. That's actually one of the coolest tools ever in the entire world. I don't know why this guy still does all the things that he does with the software, but this is open source and it's free, and this thing basically does everything that you need to fly, and that's so impressive. Yeah, that's the airport, and if I look at where the wind's coming from, I would say that I'd rather prefer 34, but you're going to have a lot of crosswind. And with the whole crowd I have back here, that's going to be interesting. But it's probably not going to be 20 knots down there. We'll see. And then if everything else fails, I'm gonna hand out some parachutes, and then these guys are just gonna have to jump. Oh, so you seem to have a little bit of a different information about the wind. Or let's take a look if we have wind information directly from the airport. Some weather stuff. Weather. Yep, you're right. 140 degrees, 70 knots. Okay. That means 140. Yep, you're right. 16 would be preferable. Let's change that. Enter, straight in. Just like that. Yep. Okay, so now I can activate the nav, the autopilot with nav. I'm lazy. Dude. Yep. You're a regular in the air. And you're closing in. I like this landscape. It's beautiful. It's pretty boring actually, because there's not a whole lot going on, but I like it. I do like desert-like environments. I don't know why, but I do like it. Yep, especially low and slow in the canyons and getting sucked into the into the mountains because of downwinds and downdrafts. No, seriously, it's actually pretty cool. Yes, flying in the mountains is always nice. Funnily enough, I have the Alps right in front of me. I'm living in Germany in northern Bavaria. I just have to drive like 150 miles or something to the south, and then I have the Alps in front of me. But I never, ever fly in them in the simulator. I don't know why. There's always something else that I prefer, but the Alps are a nice place to fly. Yep, Northwest as well. Northwest US. And New Zealand, actually. The mountain regions of New Zealand are very spectacular. We might want to increase the altitude here a little bit, just to make sure we don't end up in the mountains, something like that. Yeah, Papua New Guinea, that's a classic for bush flying, really, or it's become one. I've recently joined there's a VA which is called Bush Divers. That's also, I would say it's a virtual flying club, maybe you know them. And they have a pretty nice VA system, which I enjoy very much, and their main area of operations is PNG. And then it's highly likely that you also know the missionary bush pilot Ryan Farron, who's done all these YouTube videos, flying over PNG. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I envy him, actually, his kind of job. It's difficult at times, I would say, because of all the fundraising that he's got to do, but it would be, if I didn't have my family right there, which I still prefer to everything else, but if I didn't have that, and if I didn't had problems with my eyes, then I would actually prefer to do flying. Yep, it is. I mean, my eyesight is good enough, but for flying to be really doing the stuff that I wanted to do in flying, it might be an issue, because I mean I've always had to wear eyeglasses, and so I would have never been able, at least when I was younger, I would have never been able to become a commercial pilot. Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, yes. My eyesight was good enough. I still have a glider's license, but I haven't been flying for, I don't know, like 15 years or so, or even more than that. And my eyesight naturally hasn't become any better, so that part is over. But if we still have the simulators, at least a little something, and they're getting better all the time. You had a heart attack. Okay. I hope you're doing well, but you're still here, so things seem to have worked out. Yeah, right. I have a camper van that I'm building and driving around with my family. We all find some kind of hobby that we can put our energy into. But flying is still something special. It's always been. Stent? Okay, I get it. Yeah, sometimes it just happens and you cannot do a whole lot about it. My father-in-law, that's the father of my wife. Is that called father-in-law? I think so. My father-in-law he had 3 strokes so far, and he's got an aneurysm of the aorta. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but the main artery in the middle of your body, and he's got an aneurysm, and it was only discovered. It was pure coincidence that they were able to discover this because of some other problems. Yeah, aorta. Okay, so it's still not critical, but it's something that can develop into a critical scenario, and so sometimes shit just happens, and you can't do a thing about it unless you know. But most times you don't know. Yeah, as far as the doctor said, the surgeon he was going to let it to have it examined. He said that it depends on the size of the aneurysm. Right now it's pretty small still, but of course there's a chance that it's going to burst, because the aorta has a certain condition, and if the I'm not sure what it's called, but the skin of the aorta, you know what I mean, if that's being pulled apart too much, then there's a chance that it's going to burst. And depending on the size of the aneurysm, that needs to be corrected, or I don't know, you can put a stent around it, something like that, just to make sure that it doesn't burst. Yep. Well, let's hope for the best. But this guy, my father-in-law, has never been someone who liked to go to a doctor or have any kind of medical exam. So, yeah. There's no chance in hell because you're gonna bleed out within minutes. Okay. So what basically happens is that they're pretty immediate. Okay. Well, at least it's pretty immediate. I mean, if you were dying slowly, that would be not as fun as I guess. Right, you were a field, what did you say? Field medic, someone who's treating people out in the field. And the field means basically that we're driving around in emergency services. Paramedic. Okay, I get it. Exactly that. A flight medic, okay. Which means that you examined people if they were fit to fly or something else. Ah, I see. Okay. What is it that you like about the King Airs 350 Beechcraft things? They don't even have well, I think there is one outfit where you do have a toilet in the back, but it's pretty crowded in there. It's pretty narrow. Workhorses, yes, they are. That's one of the things that my family is a little weird about. If it doesn't have a toilet, I'm not going to drive with it. Or at least in the long run. A plane's got to have a toilet if we fly longer than 2 hours. A car's got to have a toilet if we drive. My camper van does have a little toilet in it because my wife prefers to have her own toilet, not having to sit under a tree. Cool, that's very nice. $150 is unfortunately not a whole lot. I would guess that you'd have flown it even further than that if you'd had the choice. In the King Air, what's the top speed of this thing? Some 300 knots, something like that. $220, okay. Yeah, you were not qualified, but the thing is, if you have the chance to sit in one of those things and you can actually grab the horns, then you just want to fly and don't want to stop. So 150 miles is less than an hour, I would say, probably, and you'd have flown this thing all day long, which would be my guess. There's a whole lot of wind going on right there. 20 knots from the west and 10 knots from the east. Like 30 knots coming from the west. Yes. Beautiful landscape. I haven't been here before, even in the simulator. It's really worth exploring everything, really, because now it looks pretty real, and it probably isn't too far away from reality when it comes to the actual the actual realism to the what it looks like in reality. Looks a bit like the Monument Valley here. And that might be a river that has dried out. Murph, what's going on here? Tell me something about the landscape around us.
My dear friend, just off our starboard side, you'll see the magnificent San Quintin Bay. This natural harbour is a beauty with its sprawling wetlands and dunes. It's a haven for birdwatchers as it's home to a variety of migratory birds. The bay's unique ecosystem is a result of volcanic activity, and it's a place where nature's wonders truly come alive. It's also a favourite spot for fishermen hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive sea bass, so keep those eyes peeled for a bit of nature's magic.
We have someone else flying with us right now. His name is Skin Flints. He's on my, I would say like 5 o'clock. That guy's been flying with me for a whole lot lately. I do enjoy his company, and he likes to do IFR. But today's purely VFR. It's the best possible weather that you can get. Skinny, you were sneaking up again. I didn't pay attention. Look at the poor autopilot, how much it has to work to keep this plane stable. It's basically, it's hysterically trying to trim. Hey there. How are you doing, Skinny? Excellent, that's good to hear. Yep. I have put an extra batch of barf bags under the seats of these guys. So far nobody's turned yellow or green yet, unfortunately. Because I'm not the one who has to clean up the plane. I would love to basically see them throw up, see how far they can actually throw up, maybe into the windshield or into the neck of each other. Yes, West Europe, actually. I can see you. Yep, I can see both of you as well. As you can see. But maybe you have, do you have life pilots and not all pilots? Are you on some, do you have everything on life? That might be an issue. My plane's moving. Look at that. The poor Kodiak, it's basically being tossed around like a little bird in a tornado. So nice. Okay. I'm right at your 12 o'clock, actually. Like 28 miles away, as you can see. If you're taking a look at the stream, you're not that far away. Now Skinny's moving very quickly to some place. No, that was some weird warping. Skinny has witnessed quite a lot of very, let's say, interesting landings that I've done. Depending on the weather conditions, I had my good landings, and some of them were not ideal. Let's say. I'm curious how it's going to work out today with all these nice turbulences in the air. Textbook landings, yes, man. This is just. There is. I think no, it was north of Seattle. The one landing where I constantly flipped because I don't know. You were just sitting there and looking at it stoically. Yep, that's true. Oh, look at these canyons right there. That looks awesome. I like the colors. I like the hues of this landscape. I'm actually curious because sometimes the St. Intentions is able to simulate local, I don't know, a Mexican speaking English has a certain accent, and St. Intentions is trying to replicate that accent. Let's just talk to ADC just to see if it works at this time. Hello there, good people of the world. This is Kodiak Delta Foxtrot Delta. About, I don't know, let's take a look at, we're about 30 miles north of the airport of Punta Prieta, and we're inbound for landing. Let's see what he's going to say about that.
Kodiak 1-1 Romeo, Mazatlan Control, roger. You're not under flight following. Please state your intended destination airport or contact the appropriate tower for landing instructions.
I'm not sure. He sounds like more like a Russian guy or someone from Eastern Europe, not necessarily Mexican. But I mean, he doesn't sound American, so that's everything else doesn't matter. Mazatlan Control. I come from a different country. I am very nice, happy to meet you. Thank you.
Kodiak 1-1 Romeo. Nice to meet you too.
At least he's polite. I'm not sure if I'm in this entire software is a beta, if you ask me. But now I've just updated to a version 3.0.0.0. Oh, you're talking about something else? You're talking about the flight simulator. Okay. And I'm not in the beta either. Nope. This is the regular broken 2024. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? I've got 3 of them. Oh, there's a glide path. There's a little diamond. How nice. What do you think, Skinny? Are we going to try to do another instrument approach? I think it's going to work this time. I'm going to make it work. It's always working. Almost every single time we're hitting the nail on the head, making these textbook approaches with precision and pride and all that stuff. I'm not dead yet. It might happen later on, but I'm not dead yet. As you can see, I'm red, but not dead. Ted. Okay, so let's make sure that we... Oh, it's working hard. It's working so hard. What is the approach altitude? Like 2,311 feet? Let's go down a little bit. I hope we're not going to crash into the mountains at that altitude. We'll see. Maybe I'm deader than I thought pretty soon. You should have, Skinny, actually, the takeoff today, that would have been very much to your liking. Oh, we're going to end up in the mountains, so let's make sure we don't do that. Let's go to 3,000. Might be a good idea. Because I had a case of a bit of a mistrim, and then the autopilot fired away, and the good old Kodiak with all that weight in it decided to quit flying, and it just fell out of the sky. That was fun. What the heck? Come on. Rise and shine, Kodiak. There seems to be, is that actually snow? Up there? Are the mountains that high? Maybe. Let's take a look. Are you guys still there? Skinny is there and Medic is there. So, are you guys flying together back there? It looks like you're sitting on top of each other. Okay. That's good. "10 miles to go." Let's see. Let's just wait a little bit longer. Hello there. Good man in the ATC. I want to land now.
Kodiak 1-1 Romeo. You're not under flight following. Contact the appropriate tower for landing instructions.
No, I won't. I will just land.
Kodiak 1-1 Romeo. Landing without clearance is not permitted. Contact the appropriate tower for landing instructions.
No, I will not. Yeah, that would be that's the expected outcome of this entire tour. I'm gonna shut down I'm gonna be shut down at some point. But please do not tell the guy in the tower, because he's going to get mad at me. And if I want to land at the airport, then I would prefer not to be beaten up, okay?
Kodiak 1-1 Romeo. Landing without clearance is not permitted. Please contact the appropriate tower for landing instructions.
No, I will not. What is your name, by the way?
Kodiak 1-1 Romeo. I am sorry, I can't provide personal information.
That's a pity.
Kodiak 1-1 Romeo. Understood.
Me? Yes, I was raised in Germany. Yes, sir.
Kodiak 1-1 Romeo. Acknowledged.
I was talking to the ATC guy. Oh dear Lord, look at the crosswind, 20 knots. That's going to be interesting. Lots of rudder. With all these people on board. I know you're watching. My elevator is a bit. It's a bit It's a bit sensitive today. Flaps 10. Approach speed could be a little bit slower, usually 110, and then let's just lower the flaps even further. But I'm not going to go beyond 20 because I want to be a little bit faster than the usual approach speed with all that goddamn frickin' ding ding, what's it called? Tailwind? No, not headwind, the other wind.
Stop.
Oh,
Stop,
wait a minute.
Stop.
Dude, that was to be expected somehow. Okay, let's do another one. No, it wasn't good. Not at all. But Skinny knows the drill. It happens sometimes. Yeah. That was like butter. Peanut butter. Oh man. Oh
Stop,
Lord.
stop,
Oh Lord.
stop,
It's
stop.
happening again. Okay. Let's do it one more time. No, I'm actually trying to do it right, okay? Power. I cannot land with 170 knots. I mean, these guys back here, they're dead anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now I'm gonna land into the wind of change. Oh, this is not going to end well. I can tell you right now, this is not going
Stop,
to...
stop, stop. Stop.
Something isn't right, really. I think we might have a center of gravity problem here. It's a bit weird. There's the runway. Exactly. Stop moaning, for crying out loud. Something doesn't compute here. Something is wrong. What in... I'm not sure what it is, but I'm going to try something. Yep, you go ahead and kiss my butt. Pause. What is the active pause? There it is. Forward. I'm going to put away the cargo for now. Let's see what happens. Let's do a loop. That's alright. Kodiak can do it.
Stop.
Or maybe not.
Stop.
What is wrong with you?
Stop.
It's dropping out of the sky like a rock. Okay. Let's get this thing under control. What is wrong? I mean, I'm not that good of a pilot, but that hasn't happened.
Stop. Stop.
Even Skinny hasn't seen that much stupidity yet.
Stop. 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 Stop.
Oh,
Stop.
the guys are
Stop.
back.
Stop. 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 Stop.
Yeah, I did
Stop.
check it, but
Stop.
something is
Stop.
still cargo. Quick fill. Unload
Stop.
everything.
Stop. Stop.
Guys
Stop.
gone? Yes,
Stop.
they are.
Stop.
Okay, let's get this thing under control. There we go. Yep. So, now we're back in the game. No cargo on board. Now it feels a lot better. So it was a center of gravity problem. Yep. Now, where's the airport? Where the heck is it? Yeah, it was. Oh, you've actually caught up. That's a bit embarrassing. Where is the goddamn airport? I can't see it. The heck, I need to take a look at Google Nav map. Oh, there we go. Somewhere up ahead on the left-hand side. There it is. Okay, let's do it right. We have... yeah, no, absolutely not. It's all wrong. What Mr. Medic said is that's all not true. The wind is not favoring runway 26, but it's favoring 09er. Okay. I'm going to land first. I will land first. Whatever happens, I am the first one to land. I promise. Let's make sure that it really actually happens. Reduce the speed drastically. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Yep. And Cougar made it. He was like, I don't know, completely disoriented, but thanks to Maverick, he did it. How's that for a landing? Almost. But the crosswind is killing me. Yep, medic on final, I can see you. I'm gonna quit the runway so you can land unharmed. Dude, that were the most stressful minutes of my day. Really. Let's see about that landing. You're flying, oh yeah, you do have a bit crosswind action as well, so I don't have to feel that bad. Why do I have pitot heat turned on? I didn't do that. Let's see about Skinny. What this guy's doing. Mr. Medic, your plane is kind of, I don't know, it's moving on its own. No, it isn't anymore. It's still there. So you've got us 172 here. And what is that? It looks like a TBM 930, but you're not flying a 930, I would say. The label said something about a M500. Don't run me over. Let's make a nice screenshot. There we go. That was nice. Good flight. Nice flight. No, I need the Explorer. There we go. Gentlemen, that was pretty cool. Thank you so much for flying with me. I did enjoy that a whole lot. Skinny's still got his problems with the back of his head. No hair left. And it looks a bit weird. It looks a bit ill, really. It looks like you had some kind of, I don't know, what's it called if your skin has these, I don't know. I lack the words for this in English, but it looks a bit strange. It does. And he, the medic, he's actually as old as his hair looks. Right? That's pretty close to 86, something like that, or 97, I'm not sure what it was, 107. I know. I do remember. But it's fun to make fun of people. You know that. You've been on this planet long enough. So guys, I'm gonna go to bed. It's almost 11 p.m. here. Maybe we have another chance to fly together. I would enjoy that very much. And I hope you guys have a good evening later on. Excellent. So, see you. Take care. Yeah, the last one wasn't that bad, actually. You know that. I've had worse. Take care.